escape this corruption so that we could freely live by our Creator's life plan. So we heard His footsteps on the sky of the third world. And so mankind, they needed to devise a way and a plan that they could reach the sky to see what was making the sound, these footsteps across the sky. And what happened is that they caused a small plant, a hollow reed, to grow. And this reed, they caused it to grow, and it pierced a hole right through the sky of the third world. And when they noticed that it did, then they made a hole at the bottom. And then they called upon the world of nature, and we sent a scout up into the reed to see what was up here. And that little scout, in accordance to my clan, the Masao clan, was a little bird. We call it ghost bird. You call it a shrike. And this little southwest, we Indians call ourselves Indians. We're Indians. I am not a Native American. America didn't happen until whenever that happened with the foreigners coming across. I also work part-time with a very small tribe in Prescott, Arizona. That tribe is named the Yavapai Prescott Indian Tribe. You come driving up onto the entrance of the reservation there, and this is what you will see. So we refer to ourselves as Indian. I use the word all the time. I don't know myself by any other name. I will use the word Native also, which I believe is a proper name to use for the Native population. The Navajos are not from here, the Apache. We migrated to where we are today. We came from somewhere else. Now, I will use the word indigenous with these people, the Yavapai. They're looking for us. For their creation story. Now, how many of you have been to Montezuma's Well? Oh, good. Okay. Montezuma's Well, in accordance to Yavapai tradition, is their emergence spot. Very holy spot. So you go down here off of I-17 just north of Montezuma's Castle, and you drive off the road, maybe 7 miles, nice paved road, and go to the well. You don't even have to pay to go to the well. It's another plus. But this place, as I said, is very sacred to the Yavapai people. This is their place of emergence. So in accordance to their tradition, they are from here. This is where they came out of the ground. And that's another rather interesting fact about the tribes of the Southwest and really of Arizona. I can honestly tell you that 90% of the tribes have the tradition of coming out of the ground at some point, somewhere. The Yavapais, the Havasupai, and the Wallapai of the western portion of the Grand Canyon. If you look at your map, it is the upper left-hand corner where you have that little boot in Arizona. There is the Wallapai and the Havasupai reservations. These are on the western portion of the Grand Canyon. They also, through their origin story, emerged out of the ground in the Grand Canyon. So I will use the word indigenous for Wallapai, Havasupai, and Yavapai. All the other tribes, I will not. And that's just simply out of respect for their tradition. And another rather interesting fact about Montezuma's Well that I just learned last week. I am teaching a winter block class at Prescott College, and we're in our third week of this block. And last week we took the class over to the Yavapai Apache Cultural Department down here at Middle Verde. And we had the director of the Yavapai portion of the department talk to our students. And she told us that when we go up to Montezuma's Well, not only is it a place of emergence, but there are sort of mischievous little spirits who reside there. And she indicated that if you are in proper balance, that more than likely you're going to hear them. She didn't say you're going to see them, but that you will hear them. And she was trying to find an English word that best described these mischievous little spirits. And the best English word she could find was leprechauns. So I'm sort of suspecting like little gremlins also. And she said if you hear them, that they make a sound like a bird flying close to you and flying away. So it's it's very short, very high pitched, she said. So she told us, now be careful when you go up there to the well. They're mischievous little things. They might push you in the water.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, and I then learned also, she said, well, since you're living in Prescott, they also live at Thumb Butte. There's a geological formation that's very popular there in Prescott, Arizona. It's called Thumb Butte. It is a volcanic plug. It's on the west mountain range in Prescott. And these little, I'll use her term, leprechauns, also reside there at Thumb Butte. So of course, being the person that I am and being Hopi, we always offer spirits, some sort of offering. Food, primarily food if we've not prepared any formal offerings. And I said, would it be proper to feed them? And she said, there always seems to be in our tradition that they're always hungry also. So I said, okay, I can do that when I go to the well. I can feed them, but I'll do it in the Hopi way. In Hopi, the offerings that we give to the spirit beings is cornmeal. And the cornmeal must be ground from a perfect ear of white corn. And what denotes a perfect ear of white corn is where an ear of corn, 4 kernels touch at the tip. And the entire ear of corn must be white. No other color, no other blemish on it. Now in contrast, the Yavapais and the Apaches, they use cattail pollen as a food offering. Among the Navajos, they use corn pollen off the corn plants. So these 2 tribes, 3 tribes, the Navajo, the Apache, and the Yavapai, they go gathering their pollen in the spring. Whereas we Hopis, we can create our offering, our prayer meal, by just simply saving our perfect ears of white corn. So if you decide to go down there this week, keep your ears open. They might be flying by you, and you may wonder what that noise is. It's those little gremlins, those Yavapai gremlins down there at Montezuma's Well.